Hello again, my name is Christina Fox. I'm the Community Resource Coordinator at the Food Bank, and we are here in firm support of this bill to increase the minimum wage. Now, one thing that I want to highlight from my testimony, because I think it's incredibly important, I heard the people who receive public safety program, or excuse me, safety net programs, public assistance, etc. So I'm grateful to be able to offer the perspective of an organization that works very closely with this population. So one thing that's important to note, I mentioned that 57,000 Rhode Islanders every month get served by the food bank, and it's no surprise that these folks are low income and that they're hungry, but what is quite shocking is that most of these households are working households. 44% of food bank guests live in a household where at least one adult is employed. So these are folks who are working, but the jobs that they have just are not enough to make ends meet. I've done outreach in pantries in every single one of your communities, the representatives assembled here. I cannot tell you the number of times that I have had conversations with people who are working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, don't qualify enough for certain benefits, but still aren't able to do things like pay the rent on time. 60% of food bank guests have reported, 62% have reported having to pay choosing to pay between food or rent. 70% of those served by the food bank, 70% report having to choose between paying their utilities or paying their rent because of just the enormous cost of living and the fact that their jobs and the wages that they're being paid are not keeping up with that. Along with my testimony, you'll note that I also included a list of all of our food assistance providers. The ones that are highlighted represent ones that have hours specifically to assist working families. Of the 121 pantries that are on those lists, 67 of them have weekend and hours after 5 specifically to accommodate the schedules of working people. So we want to, at the food bank, make ourselves irrelevant, right? We want ourselves to be out of business. We want there to be no need for food banks anymore. And we believe 100% that the best way to do that is to give people the ability to be self-sufficient. And there is no stronger way to do that than by having folks get paid a living wage for the work that they're doing. Many of the families that we serve also are enrolled in different programs like SNAP, WIC, heating assistance, Medicaid, Medicare, etc. And even with all of these programs combined, they're still not making enough to make ends meet. There is no substitution for a good paying job. So that's why we're here in support of this. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak before you tonight, and I hope that was very quick and succinct, but I'm happy to take any questions before I take my leave.